What's going on, guys? It's Smudger here, and let's talk about the second weekend of the Vanguard beta. I know it's been less than 24 hours since it started. I've played a few games since then, and whilst it runs far better on PC, there's still some huge issues. The primary one, which you'll be seeing in this footage, is the packet burst issue, is the latency issues. And at first, I think most people were probably just chalked it to their internet perhaps not being great. But I've gone onto Warzone, gone onto Cold War on this PC, and I did the same when I was on my PS4 last weekend, and it is definitely a Vanguard server issue. And there seems to have been very little addressed by Sledgehammer Games. And if they have, I've missed it. I certainly haven't seen anything. They've addressed other things like, audio and other bugs here and there. Xbox players were having some issues, which is great to see. You want to see them responding to issues, but there seems to just be no mention of this. And I almost wish they would, just to come around and say, we know that our servers are shit, and we are working to get it fixed by full release. And I think that would satisfy most people, because I've had maybe a game and a half where I've not had any packet loss throughout the entire thing, and that's just awful, to be honest. Maybe there was a influx in demand for the beta they weren't expecting. Maybe they're just having general issues with how shit their servers appear to be. I don't know what it is. I'm not technically minded enough, but it's happening so often that it's quickly becoming incredibly unplayable. You can't get a decent game in because of packet loss. Like, you're losing gunfights because your game just bugs the hell out, and the rest of the game is pretty much fantastic. Obviously there's tuning issues that need to be done here and there, sun flare, audio issues are still a thing. It still feels like your head's underwater, and there's some things in terms of sprint to fire time, etc. that can be tuned, and you'd expect a beta to be brought in to tune these things and to get feedback on what the players want, and that's okay. That we expect that tuning. It is what a beta is for. We didn't expect it to be a perfectly polished game, but the fact that you can't go through a game without lagging all over the map is pretty bad. And yeah, I'm not one to bash them unfairly, and I'm certainly not one to just kind of witch hunt and go after the devs. Obviously, they've worked hard on this, and it seems like they have either a massive oversight within their game, or they just didn't expect the servers to react how they have to this many players, perhaps. It's not good, is the short of it. It feels like an alpha, and I only mean that in terms of the servers and the issues you're having it, because that is such a fundamental part of it. It knocks onto the rest of the gameplay, and it's very hard to have a solid opinion of the gameplay when you can't get into a decent gunfight without some hefty packet loss. It's really difficult to form a solid opinion on it, and I'd love to hype Vanguard up. That most of the aspects in this game, predominantly from last weekend, because the servers seem to be worse this weekend, are great. There's lots of good features in there, and I think that's the general consensus, is that this could be a fantastic game if you get these issues sorted out. And I think that has to start with the servers, because they're just unplayable at the moment, and it is starting to wear a bit thin. It's starting to really kind of grind down any hype I kind of had created for the game, like myself personally. If if maybe they'll come out with a fix in the next 12 hours and say, we've resolved some instabilities, here you go, and it'll be 50% better, and do you know what, for a beta you'd take that, because there are going to be bugs, there are going to be issues, but there's just been so little progress in terms of getting the servers up and running. Obviously they've only had a week from weekend 1 to weekend 2. I'd argue I'm having more packet loss today especially. I don't know if that's more people getting their hands on it, but yeah, it's an issue. I want to play the beta. If it's got bugs, it's got bugs. If some of the guns are wrecked, some of the guns are wrecked. Kill streaks might not be great. I don't have an issue with having issues with a beta. I just like to be able to play it without jumping 3 feet in the air when I didn't press a single button because of server latencies and packet loss and packet bursts, and it's not fun. That's all I really have to say on the beta until I get a decent run at it, because it's hard for me to form an opinion otherwise. Let me know if you've been having the same issues or not. I think most people have experienced it in some capacity. As always, if you did enjoy the video, give it a like, subscribe if you want to find your way back, and I hope I'll see you when the servers are better. Bye.